Okay. This is the Jeb first episode. Jeb Let's Play. First episode. 5th take. First take, I forgot to record my voice. Second take, I was recording OBS instead of the video game. Third take was pretty good, but the audio was messed up. Fourth take, I was like Obama. I'm just going, if. I couldn't talk because I'm a moron. And this is hopefully this will be the one I upload. Because if it's not, that would be doo-doo. And
verifying the target.
Okay, let's go. This is the this is Metal Wolf Chaos XD. The XD is important. Just like Invader Zim, XD holds up. You can't see it. I don't have a face cam. I'm holding up a spork right now. But this video game is the perfect game to start a thing with, my channel with, because it was the only game that wasn't a visual novel that was installed on my computer. And look at this freaking cover. Look at this screen. It's so freaking cool. Of course, man, can I just, please, can I just go to this?
Verifying the target, 1,300 feet below.
Okay, there we go. My freaking mouse is being stupid. It's a perfect thing. Just look at this freaking screen. You got this badass robot. Apologies for swearing. You got this robot, giant minigun, giant American flag. Look at that. Look at those guns. It's got options. It's got credits. It's got leaderboards. It's got a giant American eagle holding a missile. Made by the same people who did Dark Souls. What's not to like about this game, man? Okay, now let's start. Let's go.
By the end of the
very
first
good
quarter
plot.
of the 21st century,
Very good voice acting
freedom
too.
was dead in America. Beginning with a large-scale military coup d'etat that erupted in various cities throughout the nation, the rebels seized power in all the central institutions of government. The entire nation appeared to have fallen completely into the hands of the coup d'etat forces. However, one final hope in opposing the coup d'etat forces remained. This final hope being the U.S. President himself. Michael Wilson, the 47th President of the United States, equipped with a special mobile armored ops suit developed in secret by the military, boldly waged his own personal war alone to take back America's freedom.
Let's go, boys. We're taking back America's freedom. The
Get
Tree
on
of
my special
Liberty
ops suit, Jody.
has to be replaced.
It looks like a
The Tree of
fancy
Liberty
party
has
about
to be
to start.
replenished with the blood of protesters.
This kind of party is
Let's
a first
go.
for me. Mr. President,
Miss Secretary, turn off my body cams. I have to protect and serve.
Welcome to the White House.
Welcome to the White House. Freaking looters.
the people outside look really scary, Mr. President. Mr. President, escape via the Eagle Star in
But
the underground base. Now
On the third take, it was good, but I couldn't figure out how to, but I messed up the audio. Basically, the entire episode was just me talking about Saints Joachim and Anna, who were the grandparents of Christ, according to the flesh, and the parents of the Theotokos. Very highly virtuous couple. At the time they were alive, they were like the most virtuous people in Israel. That's not saying there were a lot of virtuous people in Israel, but none could no one surpassed them in holiness and righteousness. Like every single virtue, they were adorned with every single virtue. Saint Joachim was of the
Sorry to
tribe of
keep you
Judah,
waiting, Mr. President.
which was, could be wrong on this, but the kingly line, and Saint Anna was of the tribe of Levi.
Enter the underground base using this
And
oversized
was the
back
son of
door
a,
here.
it was the daughter of a priest named Mathan, I think. And
The enemy are just lowly foot
both of
soldiers.
them,
Even if they aim at you and fire, they're no
basically,
match for your
what I
special
was trying to
heavy
say
mobile armor.
was they were well-to-do off. They were very wealthy physically and materially, but beyond that, they were incredibly wealthy spiritually. And that is a big reason why God chose them to produce. Basically, that's why he chose them as the person that would birth the woman that would birth God. The birth of their daughter, Mary, the Theotokos, was actually incredibly miraculous because they were very old when it happened. I'd say like in their late 60s. Anna was barren. They tried, never had a kid, just like Abraham and Sarah. And being childless at the time was a very, very, it was in Israel, it basically, if you didn't have a child, that basically, in the eyes of the people, God, you didn't have God's blessing, you were a sinner. And it even went to the point, well, before I talk about this, because they are wealthy,
I'll be back.
they gave their wealth. They gave a third of their wealth to the temple and a third of their wealth to the poor every day. Every feast day. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. I was getting some Chinese food. As I was saying, they gave a third of their wealth to the temple, and they gave another third of their wealth to the poor every feast day. And one year, they went to bring their offering, and the priest was like, "I don't want it. You're old and childless. It's obvious that you're sinners.
The Eagle Star is beyond here. Get going
Get
before
out of
the
here."
enemy chases after you.
And this made
Proceed
Joachim and
ahead while
Anna
destroying anything that stands in your way.
very
Switching
sad.
over your
They were
weapons
lamenting
depending
for
on the
days.
situation is the main
Joachim
key to
actually
fighting.
fled into the
Try out the
wilderness
weapons in your backpack
and
as
said
you
he
go.
was going to fast for 40 days. And fast as in like he was actually just going to not eat for 40 days while in the wilderness. And Anna stayed at their house, but she was also very sad, lamenting her barrenness. And one day, she went into their garden and saw a nest of baby birds, and it reminded her of her barrenness. And she just started weeping and praying. I think what she said exactly was, it was actually a very long prayer. And she was like, "Woe is me, woe is me." Woe is me, woe is me. I'm childless and barren and sinful. And despite being one of the most virtuous people in Israel, she viewed herself as a great sinner. And that's the way it usually is with humble people. And while she was praying, the Archangel Gabriel appears to her and says, Anna, Anna, your prayer has been heard, and your sighing has pierced the clouds. Your tears have come before God, and you will conceive a daughter most blessed. In her, all the tribes of the earth shall be blessed, and through her salvation shall be granted to the whole world, and her name will be Mary. This was very miraculous. They actually, the Archangel Gabriel appeared to Joachim, who was in the wilderness at the time. At around the same time, Anna was being visited by the Archangel Gabriel, and while this was happening,
the aircraft hangar is behind the barrier. I'll open the barrier now. Please.
Basically, he's like, Joachim, your prayers have been answered, and you will have a child with your wife. Go to the Golden Gate in the temple, and you will meet her there.
Whoa,
and so he goes to the Golden Gate.
But with missiles of that caliber,
and
if you aim and fire, you should be able to easily shoot them down.
That break really. I was talking, and then I lost my train of thought. But they go to he goes to the Golden Gate, and he meets Joachim, and then
the barrier has been opened.
They both have the same vision, so they know what happens. And then they go on, and they have a kid, and that kid is Mary,
preparations will be complete soon. Well,
who is the woman that would birth our Savior.
Well, I guess they won't be voting for you next term.
Mr. President, the enemy
It was,
is taking aim at Air Force One. Please be careful.
After this, they have their kid, and they raise Mary until she was 3 years old. And after that, Mary is brought to the temple to serve the Lord. She's a virgin in the temple. And when all this happens, Joachim dies after a while. Joachim and Anna were natives of Nazareth. When Theotokos turns 12, Joachim dies at the age of 80. And when Anna dies, she was at the age of 79. When Theotokos was 15, which was the year she gave birth to our Lord. And it's actually, according to tradition, Saint Anna actually got to hold Jesus in her arms before she reposed. And pretty crazy if you think about it. Creator of the world, God himself, but he's a baby, and he's being held in the arms of his grandmother. Anna shortly died after that. She moved to Jerusalem after Joachim died to be closer to her daughter, because she already knew that it was like, as Gabriel announced, she already knew that Mary would birth the Savior, so she knew what Jesus was when she was holding him. They both peacefully reposed, and probably praying for us, and they are praying for us in heaven right now. And that was very rambly life of the ancestors of God, Joachim and Anna. Been rambling for about 15 minutes now. I'd say 20 minutes would be a good. Sorry if it's not funny. Sorry if it's not entertaining. I hope if you actually are listening to this, probably if you've gotten this far, thank you for listening. I will make more of these. Airplane, get out of here. Freaking George Floyd's. Yeah. I'm gonna go into this airplane. There's gonna be a cutscene. I don't like talking during cutscenes. So you'll hear my voice in like 4 minutes.
Mr. President, welcome to Air Force One. They were ever invited. They're definitely
Michael!
It's your birthday today.
Mr. President, it looks like this party is just getting started.
Let's go, boys. C. That's a passing grade. It's a really fun game. I've always really liked robot stuff. You're just a freaking giant robot going around fighting dudes. President Michael Wilson's fight from the White House cemented Vice President Richard Spencer's hold on the country. With the Pentagon, Congress, and every core institution in America firmly in his grasp. Richard Spencer. Hawk was free to thrust his depravity into the country in the name of revolution. The land of the free was free no more. But let me tell you the story of a man who stood against that tide, who believed in his own justice even when it seemed the whole world, the whole country, had turned against him. DNN correspondent Peter McDonald.
Jody, update me as to the status of the nation.
American level.
The Pentagon,
Guy's name is
the United
McDonald.
Nations,
I see how it is Japan.
and all central government institutions have fallen into the hands of the Vice President.
You see, I call him Richard Spencer because he's gay. That's really funny, isn't
Have
it?
they?
Mr. President, believe in your own justice. I'm sure your father would have told you the same.
Jody, how's my schedule look for today?
You've
Jody.
got a conference and dinner
Okay, her
party
name
at the
is Jody.
Japanese embassy regarding wildlife protection.
I'll remember that next time.
Oh yeah, I'm heading out to save America.
Yes, Mr. President.
The dialogue in this game is so amazing.
To my
All right, we're
beloved
watching the
fellow
news. I'll be
Americans,
quiet.
Good evening. This is an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your American justice and freedom supporter. First of all, what I would like to tell each and every one of you is this. Recent events were not a mere coup d'etat, but rather a revolution to correct the wrongs in the United States of America. To our regret, our nation is in a crisis situation. Since 2010, domestic terrorism problems have increased rapidly. Economic disputes originating from the exhaustion of fossil fuels and the sudden rise in unemployment due to the influx of large-scale immigration. Neither the current president nor the American government took actions to address these various problems. On the contrary, they have filled their own pockets adhering to terrorist cells. To correct this situation, Richard Hawk, Arizona insurrection hero and vice president of the old government, and the U.S. military rose to the task at hand. Much like our ancestors did, based in a belief of winning freedom, and based in the belief of an independent war, and based in the belief in this great
Based
nation.
on what?
However, to our regret, an evil to disobey this belief exists in the United States of America too. And here is that evil. This villainous terrorist who first appeared in Washington and began his unjust rampage goes by the alias Metal Wolf. His current whereabouts are unknown. While all of America will be under martial law until Metal Wolf is caught, please do not confuse the issues at hand. Without fail, the U.S. military elite forces, with a combined strength of 1.5 million, promise to smash this unforgivable evil to pieces. This has been an announcement from the Government Policy Promotion Department, your special remedy for all kinds of evil.
Alright. Next episode of this, I'll be doing level 2, which will be... What will that be?
The coup d'etat army
San
that occupies
Francisco.
San Francisco still runs rampant.
That's
and
right,
deprives
boys, we're blowing up San
780,000
Francisco.
citizens of their freedom.
Alright. It was fun recording this. I hope it was as fun as it was recording. I hope it was fun listening to this too. I know I'm not really talking for 25 minutes is very hard. But yeah, that's the end of episode 1 of Jeb Plays Metal Gear Chaos. XD holds up Spork. Signing out. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. Let's go, boys. Let's get out of here. You're tired of hearing my voice. Let's go.